For years, I was the invisible daughter, the one overlooked, the one expected to fold quietly beneath their expectations. But when my family's crisis forced me to choose between old wounds and new boundaries, I realized that saving them wouldn't cost me my dignity. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt. Sometimes you have to walk away to truly stand tall. I speak with a steady voice, each word measured and clear. I can help with some things, I say, counting on my fingers. I can help you file police reports properly. I can contact my colleague who specializes in financial fraud recovery. I can connect you with a lawyer who handles cases like this. But then I stop. I cannot replace the money you lost. Silence stretches long between us, thick and heavy, until my mother finally breaks it. I have 6 figures saved, she says sharply, substantial savings. But I will not sacrifice my financial security to rescue you from a situation I explicitly warned you about. My father's face reddens with frustration. This family has supported you your entire life, he insists. A bitter laugh escapes me, short and unexpected. Did you? When? We put a roof over my head and food on the table. That's the legal minimum, Dad. Chloe curls up on the couch, shoulders hunched as if trying to disappear. So you're just going to abandon us after being right all along? Is that what matters to you? Being right? I meet her gaze steadily. What matters to me is being respected, being heard. I exhale slowly. You need me now, but you've never wanted me. There's a difference. My mother collapses into a chair, her voice shaking. How can you be so cold? I say nothing. For the first time, they truly see me. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they only see the woman I built myself into without their notice or approval. These are my boundaries, I say quietly but firmly. I will help you navigate this legally. I will stay 3 days. I will not empty my savings account or co-sign loans. Those are my terms. My father starts to speak, stops, then tries again. When did you become this person? When you weren't looking, I answer. My father paces the living room, each heavy footfall pounding against the floorboards, the same ones I once tiptoed across as a child, trying to disappear. As head of this family, I've always made decisions with everyone's best interests at heart, he says, stopping abruptly and squaring his shoulders toward me. This situation requires a united front. I sit perched on the edge of the same armchair where I used to curl up with books as a kid, but not anymore. My mother wrings her hands nervously, the wedding ring clicking against her knuckles. Blood is thicker than water, maiden. Surely, you understand that now. The familiar weight of their expectations presses down on me. I straighten my spine. You've always thought you were better. Chloe's voice cracks as tears streak down her mascara-streaked face. She barely resembles the beaming bride-to-be from the wedding invitations still scattered on the coffee table. Perfect maiden, with her fancy job and big city life. I glance at my watch. They've been at this for 27 minutes, the coordinated. Pressure, the guilt, the attempt to make me fold like the paper dolls Chloe and I once played with. She got the pretty dresses. I got the torn scraps. When I was 8, I said in a steady voice, I won the district spelling bee. You told me you couldn't come because Dad had an important meeting. I raise my hand, steady as ever. But I saw you both at Friendly's afterward, celebrating Chloe's participation ribbon from field day. The silence that follows hangs thick as summer heat. 10th grade. My science project on agricultural runoff received state recognition. The ceremony was the same night as Chloe's choir concert, where she sang in the back row. You chose the concert. My mother's gaze drops to her lap. High school graduation. You left immediately after because Chloe had a date to the prom and needed help with her hair. The grandfather clock ticks in the corner, marking seconds of uncomfortable. Truth Christmas 2020. I got you each thoughtful gifts based on conversations we'd had that year. You gave me a generic gift card with the wrong name on it. The front door creaks open. Aunt Helen stands framed in the doorway, clutching her purse like a shield. I saw it all. Her voice wavers, but holds firm. Every recital you missed, every achievement you downplayed, I watched this child wilt while you fawned over her sister. My father's face flushed crimson. This is a family business. I am family, my aunt replies. Someone in this room needs to acknowledge what happened in this house. I rise to my full height, suddenly more apparent in this room where I spent so many years trying to shrink myself. I'll help with the house. My voice fills the room, the space I never claimed before. I'll cover the second mortgage. I'll arrange for the credit card debt to be consolidated. Relief flashes across their faces, quickly masked, but I won't help with your reputation. I meet their eyes one by one. I won't pretend Chloe wasn't scammed by a man any decent background check would have flagged. I won't lie to the neighbors about where the money went. I won't attend any community functions where you parade me around as the dutiful daughter who swooped in to save the day. My father's jaw clenches tightly. You don't get to dictate terms in my house. I do, I say, the words tasting unfamiliar, powerful, certain. My assistance comes with legal protections. For me. The money will be handled through formal channels with documentation. You won't have direct access to any funds. Think of it as a business transaction, not a family bailout. My mother's eyes widen in shock. We're not some charity case. No, you're not. Charity doesn't come with requirements. This does. From my briefcase, I withdraw 3 copies of a document my lawyer prepared. The paper makes a crisp sound as I place it carefully on the coffee table. This outlines the terms of my financial assistance. One-time solution, not an ongoing relationship. I'll transfer the funds to pay off the second mortgage directly to the bank. The credit card consolidation will go through a financial advisor I've selected. This is ridiculous, my father blusters, but his eyes track the papers. The second page is an acknowledgement. I tap the document. It states that for years you consistently favored one child over the other, creating an environment of emotional neglect. My mother gasps sharply. We would never sign such a thing. Then I'll leave, and you can explain to the bank why you can't make next month's payment. The room falls silent, save for Chloe's ragged breathing. My father reaches for his reading glasses with shaking hands. You've become hard. I've become honest. I remain standing. The world didn't break me. Neither did you. But I won't pretend anymore. He reads silently, pen hovering above the signature. Line, his hand trembling. Your mother and I did our best. Your best was deeply unequal. The words come without anger, just the truth. 10 minutes later, all 3 signatures mark the page. I texted my financial advisor to proceed with the arrangements we discussed. I pull out my phone and make a call. Miss Winters, we're proceeding. With Plan A. Yes, the full arrangement. I listen briefly. Thank you. The documentation has been signed. You'll receive copies within the hour. I turn to my family. Rachel Winters is a certified financial advisor who specializes in family debt restructuring. She'll contact you tomorrow to begin the process. Everything will go through her, not me. My father opens his mouth to object. This isn't negotiable. I say firmly, she'll ensure the mortgage gets paid and creditors are handled properly. The money never touches your accounts directly. I gather my things without rush or ceremony. No tearful embraces, no promises to call soon. I hope you find peace with your choices. I straighten my jacket, check that I have everything. Aunt Helen follows me onto the porch. Will you be all right? The afternoon sun warms my face as I look at the street where I once waited for the school bus, dreaming of escape. I already am. I walk to my rental car, back straight, steps measured. The rearview mirror shows the house growing smaller, but I don't look back. Some bridges can't be rebuilt. Some shouldn't be. Sunlight streams through the bay windows of my home office, casting golden red rectangles across the maple desk where I've arranged my life in neat, purposeful rows. My Chicago apartment is gone, traded for this craftsman bungalow with its solid bones and history. 1 year since I walked away from the Reynolds family drama. The diploma now hangs centered on the wall. Made in Reynolds, Bachelor of Science in Data Science, summa cum laude, no longer hidden behind. Winter coats, no longer a secret. My laptop chimes with an incoming video call. Layla, the third student in my mentorship program for first-generation college women, beams brightly with news. "I use that preparation technique you taught me," she says, tucking dark hair behind her ear. When they asked why I deserved it more than others, I didn't apologize or minimize. I told them exactly what I'd accomplish with it. I lean forward. Her smile breaks wide. "They called an hour ago. I got it." "You earned it," I correct her gently. "There's a difference." After the call, I stepped into my backyard. Garden. Spring has coaxed the first green shoots from the soil I've amended and nurtured through seasons of patience. My fingers brush the tender leaves of tomato seedlings. These will grow strong, unlike the withered roots I left behind. Shekturn, letter from my therapist, Dr. Chen, sits on the patio table, documented in her precise handwriting. Patient demonstrates significant progress in establishing healthy boundaries and recognizing her inherent value separate from family validation. Wednesday afternoons still belong to the community center, where I teach financial literacy to young women. Last week, Tanya, quick-witted 17, with a spark that reminds me of myself, spotted the warning signs in a pyramid scheme targeting her mother. "I showed her the numbers don't add up," she told me, crying but straightening her spine. My phone buzzes with Aunt Helen's monthly update. Dad and Mom are still struggling to refinance the house. Chloe is working part-time at the local bank, attending therapy twice a month. No mention of attempts to contact me directly. The boundary holds firm on both sides. The garden timer chimes. Time to prepare for tonight. The community center auditorium fills with steady applause as I walk toward the podium. The mentorship program I founded has been recognized for its impact on first-generation college students. The award feels substantial. In my hands, glass and metal catching the light, solid and real. I scan the crowd as I speak. No empty chairs where parents should sit. Instead, Dr. Chen nods encouragingly from the third row. My neighbor, Mrs. Grayson, who brings me heirloom tomato seedlings, beams with unrestrained pride. Colleagues from work, who value my analytical mind for exactly what it is. Friends who ask how I'm doing and wait for the answer. When I started this program, I tell the audience, I thought I was helping others find what I never had. What I discovered instead was that worth doesn't come from external validation. It grows from within. The applause fades as I step away from the podium, but the warmth in the room lingers. A quiet affirmation that I belong here, that this work matters. I move through the crowd, catching snippets of conversation, the spark of new ideas, the exchange of hope and encouragement. Later, in the quiet of my office, I review emails from my mentorship students. Layla's latest update. "I got through the scholarship interview because you taught me to own my story. Thank you." Tanya writes, "My mom is finally looking at our finances honestly. We're making a plan." I'm reminded how far I've come from the girl who once counted pennies to survive, the girl who hid her achievements so her family wouldn't feel threatened. Tonight, I let myself savor the feeling. A life built on my terms. My phone buzzes. Again, a message from Rachel Winters, my financial advisor. The bank confirmed the mortgage payment went through. Creditors are consolidating the debts as planned. Family is adjusting slowly. I close my eyes, letting out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Setting boundaries isn't easy. It means choosing self-respect over approval, honesty over avoidance, and strength over silence. I think of the tomato seedlings in my garden, fragile yet determined, pushing through the earth toward the sun. That's who I am now, rooted but growing, nurtured by the boundaries I've set, and reaching for a future I control. Outside, spring deepens. Inside, I feel a quiet hope take root. The days that follow ripple with unexpected calm. No frantic calls, no urgent demands, just the slow, steady process of change. Mom calls once, voice hesitant, softer than before. "Thank you for helping with the mortgage. We're managing," I answer simply. "That's good to hear. I hope therapy is helping." She doesn't reply immediately. Later, I get a text from Chloe, brief, polite. "I'm working on getting better, Madelyn. I appreciate what you've done." I type back, That's all I ever wanted. There's no grand reunion, no sweeping forgiveness. But there is space, the kind that allows healing, even if from a distance. At work, the mentorship program flourishes. I meet with a new group of first-generation college women, each carrying their dreams and doubts. Their stories echo pieces of my past: struggles for recognition, battles for respect, the weight of family expectations. I tell them, you don't owe anyone your silence or your sacrifice. Your worth isn't up for debate. Their eyes brighten with understanding, and for the first time in a long while, I feel less alone. In my backyard, the seedlings have grown taller, their leaves stronger against the spring sun. I kneel beside them, brushing dirt gently over the roots. Some things take time: healing, growth, and forgiveness. But the seeds I plant now will one day bear fruit, and this time, I'm tending them for myself. Months later, the annual community center gala buzzes with energy and hope. This year, I'm not just a guest, I'm the keynote speaker. The room fills with faces from all walks of life: students I mentor, local leaders, neighbors who've watched me grow. I step to the podium, the award for community impact resting on the table. Beside me, I begin, voice steady but warm. When I started this journey, I was searching for acceptance, from family, from society, even from myself. A pause as I scan the crowd. What I found is that acceptance must come from within, that setting boundaries isn't a rejection, it's an act of self-respect, that our roots may be tangled and complicated, but it's up to us to choose what soil we grow in. Applause fills the room, genuine and heartfelt. Later, Layla approaches, her eyes shining with excitement. Your words gave me the courage to speak up for myself. I smile, and that's exactly why we keep going. As I leave the gala, the cool night air carries a quiet peace. No longer defined by past wounds or fractured ties, I am standing, firm in my truth. The house that once held so many painful memories is a distant silhouette in the rearview mirror. Ahead lies a horizon bright with possibility, a life rooted in purpose, grown from strength, and finally, I am free.